undertook a project to renovate our ICU, basically build a new one utilizing today's technology. We realized that what we're trying to achieve with the ICU project may not be supportable with the current infrastructure. Therefore, we had to rebuild a good portion of that so it can handle what we're going to ask it to do over the next 20 to 25 years.
So we started researching different technologies on how we could mitigate some of the risks that we were dealing with. We found the scanning technology to be the most useful for this project type. There are two main examples that stand out concerning the laser scanning. First involved phase one. We went into the mechanical room.
It was in a room that had been added into and modified so many times it was no longer code compliant. Equipment needed to be replaced both from a serviceability standpoint and from a reliability standpoint.
So we set up in that very small area over 75 shots, and some of which we had to be 2 layers up into the piping and laying on the back with the scanner being woven up through 3 more layers of piping. We'll go through, take the SD card, download the information, start processing and seeing, doing the registration, and from there we export to Autodesk Recap, and from there it goes into Revit and starts either the modeling process or preparing it to share with the rest of the team via BIM 360.
I don't think we could have done it without the 3D scan, because we would have started and then realized this ain't gonna work, and then you start all over again. So that's a lot of time and a lot of money saved on 3D scanning.
Second example was in the round ICU, which we called phase two.
The genesis for the design really started with our staff. Well, what they came up with was that circular design, because everything is centered around the middle, the core, where the nurses and the physicians will be positioned.
With no parallel lines, we were able to use scanning from the beginning of that construction phase all the way through to the very end.
Because of the existing drawings being off, the connection to the existing building had to be slightly modified, which rotated the interior space of the ICU. That is a very, very difficult coordination. Even if everything had been perfect, it still would have been very difficult to do.
We wouldn't have done the 3D scanning, and we would have just gone off our drawings. Everything would have been off 3 inches, which is not fun, especially in a round building.
And we were able to start building the building from the beginning before the concrete was even placed. That allowed us to buy some 3-form glass, a curved piece of glass, curved millwork, and a myriad of other types of products.
We have a radius glass wall. You know, this isn't something that you can shape in the field, you know, and adjust accordingly. It has to be accurate from the get-go. And we ended up making templates, brought them out here and double-checked everything in it. We didn't have to make one adjustment.
And ultimately, we saved 4 months off the original projected deadline for this project with the use of technology.
I feel very good about the future of Hutchinson Regional Healthcare System as well as our community. And we will continue to evolve and renovate our facility until we will be that hospital you'll read about that says, hey, what does rural healthcare look like? What does right look like? Go to Hutchinson, Kansas, you'll see it.